Here's a microphone.
You can use that or use the handheld.
This one?
We're streaming. We are streaming.
That'd be fine. Can you call Master and see if they see me?
Are you gonna take us from your show? Yeah. Not on the floor. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Are we streaming on Facebook?
Yes, we are streaming.
On Facebook. Okay, very well. All right, let me see if I can call up Facebook here and see what I can tell you guys. All right, Ken's 5 Facebook family, let's get right to the pictures here. If you, Gene, you want to just zoom right on past me, and I will tell you what we know for sure at this point. We are in far west Bexar County. We're actually inside the city limits, but on the far side of the west side at 1604 and Potranco. If you're familiar with this location, we are in front of the Costco. And I can tell you for sure that we are waiting for a briefing. Police obviously have their hands full in this breaking news situation, but they were called here a few minutes after 3 o'clock for reports of a shooting. We know that for sure. We know for sure that the San Antonio Fire Department said that they left here with 2 patients, priority code 1. That means the possibility of life-threatening injuries. Now, we don't know exactly what happened, but I can tell you that if you're looking at that little minivan there, the minivan appears to have at least four bullet holes in the driver's side window. There are a couple of other cars here that are stopped. There are police interviewing what we would believe to be eyewitnesses. There are evidence markers in the street that usually indicate shots fired or shell casings. There are 5 of them that I can see with my eyes here in front of me, but I can tell you that there are also evidence markers 50 yards to the north of us here or to the west of us, so there may be some other things going on here that we don't know about. So we are waiting for a briefing from SAPD. It is their scene, and beyond that, We don't have any true facts to go on. Now, with regard to traffic, because it is Friday afternoon, woo, with a breezy day, you can certainly tell that it is very windy out here. Let me tell you a little bit about traffic, because we're on 1604. This is actually on the access road. Now, for a time, they had the entire access road closed down, and so traffic was more than a nightmare usually, you know, what you would usually have on a Friday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But they have reopened the southbound access road here at 1604, just south of Potranco, and they are letting traffic crawl through one lane at a time. So traffic is backed up quite a bit, and the backup extends over to the northbound side of 1604 as well. Now, there is a full crime scene complement of investigators out here with all of the equipment that they use when they are looking into a serious incident. So as we get further information, we will certainly bring it to you. Otherwise, I would say talk among yourselves. If you know something, feel free to share it in the comments. And I'll be back with you in a few minutes here when I know more, or I will repeat what I know from the top. But essentially from the top, police were called to the Walmart exit ramp onto Loop 1604 here at 1604 in Potranco. They were called here a few minutes after 3 o'clock for a report of shots fired. We know that 2 people went to the hospital according to the San Antonio Fire Department, priority code 1, which means the possibility of life-threatening injuries. We don't know who was shot. We don't know who did the shooting at this point. We have some unconfirmed scanner chatter that we're not going to repeat, but there are evidence markers. There's a minivan over here with at least 4 bullet holes in the driver's side window, and as soon as we get more, I will be back with you when we have some more confirmed true facts. This is Sue Kalberg at the Walmart Access Road, Potranco and 1604 in far west San Antonio. Okay, this lady is running up here. We don't know why she's running, but we're going to see what her situation is. She parked in the parking lot up here, came running. Police are telling her to wait. We'll see what happens next. Okay, KENS 5 folks, we have just been informed by the Public Information Office that they will be here for an update at 4:45. That's 15 minutes from now. So we hope to have more information about this apparent shooting incident on 1604 and Potranco at 4:45 when the Public Information Officers arrive here to give us a briefing. And we'll get back with you when we know more. We know that police were called here a few minutes after 3 o'clock for reports of a shooting. I can tell you what I see with my eyes. I see a minivan here in front of us that has what appears to be 4 bullet holes in the driver's side window. I see evidence markers on the ground that indicate, you know, the little tents that they usually put up when they're working a shooting situation. There are at least 5 of them here in front of us, and then there is a car parked 50 yards to the west of us here that you cannot see at this moment, but it also has evidence markers on the back end of the car. And we do know that 2 people were taken from here by the fire department, priority code 1, which means the possibility of life-threatening injuries. So we are awaiting a briefing, and we hope you'll stay with us at 4:45 online here and at 5 o'clock at the top of the newscast. This is Sue Kalberg reporting from far west San Antonio at 1604 in Potranco. Hey, if you guys are still with us online, it's Sue Kalberg with KENS 5 Eyewitness News. We are here on the far west side of San Antonio on the access road of Loop 1604 at Potranco, where police were called a few minutes after 3 o'clock for a reported shooting. We are waiting for a briefing any minute now from the police public information office where we can get some confirmed information, but at this time what I can tell you for sure is that the fire department reports that they did take 2 people from here, priority code 1, which means the possibility of life-threatening injuries. So that is all the confirmed information that we have from officials at this point. I can tell you that there is a minivan here that has at least what appears to be 4 bullet holes in the driver's side window. There are evidence markers all over the street, and there are a couple of other vehicles that appear to be involved, but at this moment we don't know in what manner. So, and we don't know who was shot, and we don't know who was doing the shooting. We do know that one of the cars here that is parked in the middle of this scene, apparently it's got markings on it that belongs to a firm that provides security services. So, but what their involvement in it at this point, we're not sure, because we are still awaiting a briefing. We were told 4:45, and we have seen the public information officer with our eyes. Lieutenant Michelle Ramos is over there somewhere getting her briefing, and so we're thinking that as soon as she gets some confirmed information that she can share with us, she will be here. So stay with us here online and on air. We're going to be live in the 5 o'clock newscast, and before that, if we get some confirmed information from the public information people. Stay with us here at 1604 and Potranco. I can tell you, if you're headed this way, or this is your neighborhood, you might be on the way home, the access road, the southbound access road of 1604 is squeezed down to 1 lane, because they've got part of the access road blocked off for the police and emergency vehicles here while they process what is apparently a crime scene that we believe involves a shooting, because we see bullet holes in a car and we see evidence markers in the street. But like I say, we are waiting for the official word to tell us exactly what they believe happened at this point. So we'll be back with you with some preliminary information from police in just a few minutes. For the next few minutes here, we're going to be getting ready to do live television. So if you hear me talking with the folks in the control room, that's what that's all about. In the meantime, if you're on Facebook, feel free to talk among yourselves. Share what you know. If you saw something, if you know something, be sure you share it with your Facebook community here. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But we're streaming. So
Yes. Okay.
Let me call him.
Facebook, we're going to be getting ready for live television here in a moment. We're also waiting for the police, San Antonio Police Department Public Information Office. They told us 4:45. They're a few minutes behind schedule.
Hey, you guys want my check? Hello, can you hear me?
So we're getting ready to do live television here, and so I'll be doing mic checks for the first couple of minutes here to make sure that everybody back at the house can hear me. Here at the corner of 1604 and Potranco, I'm on IFB5. IFB5?
Thank you.
There you are. Hello, Control, I hear you. Yes. So this is Sue at 1604 in Potranco for your mic check. I'll be talking at about this level here. We expect the briefing from the public information officers any moment. I see her, but she has not made her way over here for name on the screen purposes. We believe it's going to be Lieutenant Michelle Ramos. That's who we saw pull up here a few minutes ago. So in case you want to put that on the screen, we believe it's Lieutenant Michelle Ramos, but we won't know until someone actually appears here at 1604 in Potranco. I believe we... Very well, I hear you. Confirmed. So if you're still on the stream with us, from the top, got it. I'm just going to continue telling you what I know here until we get to the live newscast. Police were called here to 1604 in Potranco a few minutes after 3 o'clock for a report of a shooting. They're talking to me in my ear here, so that's why I appear a little distracted. So police were called a little after 3 o'clock for a report of a shooting. And we do know that San Antonio EMS took 2 patients away from here in what they call priority code 1, which means the possibility of life-threatening injuries. So nobody has said for sure that there was a shooting, but I can tell you that in the background over there, there is a minivan type vehicle, a dark colored minivan, and it appears to have, wow, can you, I hear something, it is so windy out here. I hear, is everything good around? Everything is good around me, and thank you for asking, I appreciate that. Six minutes out, thank you very much. If y'all are following along streaming, we do some checks here before we go into live television. One of those checks is everybody safe? It's a pretty awesome thing that we do here at KENS 5. Every time we go to do a live shot, we look around and we make sure that we're not in danger, that we're not in traffic, that there aren't any creepy, dangerous people around, and just make sure that we live to tell the next story. So it's one of many things that we do around here to be good, responsible, healthy people. So we're still probably about 5 minutes away from the newscast. We were told that we would be getting a briefing at 4:45. We see the public information officer on scene, but she has not come over here to join us yet. We expect her shortly. So we're just gonna be here until you want to come join us over here. So, recapping what we know for sure is that it's very, very windy out here on a Friday afternoon. If you are trying to get home or trying to get away from the 1604 and Potranco area, I can tell you that traffic is more than confused than it usually is on a Friday afternoon. Because here on the southbound side of 1604, just south of Potranco, they have traffic squeezed down to 1 lane while they process this crime scene here. Just in front of the Walmart, if you're familiar with this area, it's the driveway between the Walmart and the Costco where police were called just after 3 o'clock for a shooting. Three minutes away. I hear you. 3, I hear you. 3.
3 minutes?
Away.
Just stand right there and I'll just pan back and I'll follow.
There is a guy over there that I bet is the shirt's police chief.
Sí, aquí estoy.
He was at an air show. He was wearing shorts and he's got a badge on. He's 2 minutes away from the top of the show.
Okay. Make sure you tell me when we're on show. I don't have iPhone. Okay.
2 minutes, confirming I hear you.
No big deal. Okay. Está bien. Sí, como se ve en la cámara. Entonces hago mi call open, me callo y digo, vamos con Gabriel o paso contigo, Brenda.
1:30, we're at the top.
Perfecto. Bye, Isaac. Ok. ¿Viste el video en el que te etiqueté? Bueno, no creo. Es de este shooting.
1 minute out. I'm going to start with the car. I mean, you just push past me to the car.
Minivan or the car?
Yeah, the minivan.
Minivan with bullets. ¿Pregúntale a Isaac cómo se ve la cámara? ¿Se ve bien la cámara, Isaac?
15 from the top of the show. Start of show. Deborah, everything you said is true. We were expecting a briefing from the Public Information Office at 4:45. We don't have it yet, but I'm going to let you zoom past me and tell you what we do know, because we have seen it with our own eyes or we've been able to confirm it. That minivan there appears to have 4 bullet holes in the window, and police were called here about 3:05 for reports of a shooting. We have been able to confirm with the San Antonio Fire Department that 2 patients were taken from this scene in what they call priority code 1. That means that they had the possibility of life-threatening injuries. But beyond what we see with our eyes, that a minivan has bullet holes and people were taken away from here with gunshots, we're going to have to wait until the public information officers come over here with a briefing. So we're expecting that any minute, and when we have more, we will bring it to you on air and online. In the meantime, live at 1604 and Potranco, Sue Kalberg, KENS 5.
Que provocó un tiroteo que había dejado a algunas personas lesionadas y también involucrado a varios vehículos. En cualquier momento, un representante de la policía de San Antonio estará aquí para dar detalles de qué sucedió en este tiroteo que causó el pánico de muchísimas personas que estaban pasando por este lugar. Así comenzamos. Brenda, muy buenas tardes.
But again, we are just waiting to get more information. As soon as we get that, we're going to bring it to you. But we also want to let you know that the access road here is partly closed, so there will be one lane. So we're going to try to avoid this area if you can listen to us. Listen back to you.
Tiene panés y todo, se puede poner el tiro, la camioneta.
So, si tú estás para acá, yo hago subir para allá.
Ok, va.
Y luego ya no para allá, la hago subir.
Bueno, voy a mencionar esa camioneta, voy a mencionar los balazos.
Y luego ya me voy para los policías, porque para acá no hay nada.
De seguridad, ese vehículo,
De ahí para allá, sí.
este vehículo tiene un poquito amarillo también.
El gris.
If I see a rock, I'll wave at you.
Así es, Brenda, continúa la movilización en este sector de San Antonio. Estamos en una de las entradas de este supermercado Walmart sobre la carretera 1604 en Potranco, y es que alrededor de las 2 de la tarde se reportó un tiroteo que aparentemente había involucrado a un oficial de policía, no se sabe de qué corporación, aparentemente fuera de servicio, y que el tiroteo habría dejado al menos 2 personas lesionadas. Es información preliminar que está por ser confirmada por la policía de San Antonio, quien nos ha dicho que en cualquier momento llegará un representante de comunicación para aclarar lo que aquí sucedió. Lo que vemos al fondo, y vámonos por partes para describir la escena, es esta camioneta van en color negro. Yo desde aquí cuento aproximadamente 1, 2, 3, 4 disparos del lado del conductor, del otro lado del pasajero, no sé cuántos impactos tendría, pero sobre el pavimento las autoridades han colocado estos triángulos amarillos de plástico con los que identifican las evidencias o los casquillos cuando ocurren este tipo de incidentes, y son aproximadamente 8. Del lado izquierdo, o casi enfrente de la camioneta, hay un vehículo en color blanco que aparentemente sería de una empresa de seguridad, que no sabemos cómo está involucrado, y detrás de ese vehículo está otro en color gris, aparentemente de un civil, que también no sabemos por qué relación quedó dentro del acordonamiento de esta zona. A juzgar por imágenes que tuve oportunidad de ver una persona que de esa camioneta negra donde estaban todos los disparos, se bajó un hombre malherido justo cuando iban llegando las patrullas.
You guys ready?
Lo recargaron
Oh, well.
en el cofre de una de estas
I mean,
unidades
wait.
mientras estaba desangrando. Incluso le ayudaron a quitarse
Okay.
la camisa negra, que no sé si se alcance a ver desde aquí, justo donde están agachados los 2 policías en estos momentos. Ahí está la camisa que traía esta persona que vi en el video y que se estaba desangrando. Eso es lo que sabemos hasta este momento. También en ese video se ve a un hombre vestido de civil con un
Okay.
arma corta en la mano.
I'll just go ahead and
No
start.
podemos decir que se
are live
trate de la persona.
Okay. So officers received a call at a little after 3 o'clock this afternoon for a shooting in progress here at the Walmart located off Potranco near 1604. When officers arrived, they found 2 victims who were suffering from gunshot wounds. We had a Hispanic male, 40 years old, who had several gunshot wounds. He was transported to a local hospital. His front passenger also suffered from a gunshot wound. They were both in the van that you see behind me. We had the individual who shot those individuals stayed at the scene. From what I understand, he was the one that called police and stated that he had shot 2 individuals. There was a witness who heard gunshots as she was pulling into the Walmart parking lot, and stated when she pulled up, she heard the gunshots and she saw the suspect outside of his vehicle holding a gun to the victims in that van. Officers arrived on scene. They immediately took custody of the individual with the gun. He was in the Honda Civic that's behind us. He did have a front passenger, a female, in the front passenger seat. I believe she's 24 years old. There was also a 4-year-old child in the back seat. All the individuals in the small 4-door vehicle were unharmed. We're unsure what happened at this time, but we are investigating this. It's very preliminary information. We have detectives on scene who are trying to see if they can find any surveillance video that might have shown what happened between these 2 individuals.
Was the shooter a police officer?
We do have information that he was an off-duty officer.
Do you have any idea why he was shooting into you?
I don't have any information. All I know is that he did stay at the scene and he was transported over to homicide, and they are speaking with him now.
He's a police officer with SAPD?
No, he is not a SAPD officer. All I know is that he's an off-duty officer. I just don't know what jurisdiction.
The people who were involved came from the small gray car.
Correct.
And what does the little white car have to do with this?
So the individual in the white car, that's the witness that heard the gunshots. She was actually pulling into the parking lot when she heard the gunshots. When she pulled in, she observed the individual outside of his vehicle, which is that gray vehicle you see behind me. And I'm sorry, I don't know if it was a man or a woman. but they saw the suspect outside of his vehicle holding the individuals in the van at gunpoint.
Can you talk about the individuals that were shot? Are male, female ages?
So the driver is a Hispanic male in his, I believe he's 40. The front passenger was a Hispanic female, and she is 39 years of age.
How serious are their injuries?
At this time, I don't know. The driver was shot several times, so it's a good indication that he's probably in serious condition. But at this time, I don't have an update as to his injuries.
Is there any indication whether this was a road rage or whether this is personal?
We don't have any of that information. We are looking at all possibilities. At this time, it looks like it might have been a road rage, but I can't confirm that at this time.
And just to confirm, the child was found in the vehicle with the shooter?
Correct. The shooter, from what I understand, he shot while he was in his vehicle. The van pulled up next to him. He shot at the individuals in the van while he was still sitting in his vehicle. There was a 4-year-old child in the back seat, and there was a front passenger in that vehicle.
Did you find any weapons in the van?
I can't confirm that information right now. I'm not sure if they've gotten into that van yet. I do know they did recover the shooter's weapon. Like I said, he stayed at the location, he called police, and right now detectives are speaking with him at homicide.
What are the possible charges? I know you guys are still investigating, but as of now, what are the possible charges?
Right now, the aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, depending on this individual's condition, but right now it's 2 counts of ag assault with a deadly weapon.
And the child, have you guys confirmed if it's the child of the individual, the suspect?
I haven't confirmed that, but I do know a family member came to the location and picked up the 4-year-old child.
Do you know how many shots were fired?
I don't. I know it was several shots, but I can't give you an exact number.
This unfolded right here, not on the side of the frontage road.
No, it happened, from what I understand, it happened in the parking lot of Walmart, is where some kind of altercation occurred. As they were leaving the parking lot, right before they got onto the frontage road is when the shots were fired.
Were they following each other or the shooting?
It looks like the shooting happened right behind me. There seems to have been some kind of altercation. I don't know if it was a verbal altercation in the parking lot in the front of Walmart, but as they were leaving, that's when the shots were fired.
Do you have any video from Walmart that shows that altercation that might give you some clues?
Right now, I don't know what information they have. I do know that they were working with Walmart to see if they did have surveillance of anything that occurred right before the shooting. Thank you.
Thank you. No, nada que problema. Disculpa, es que llegué tarde al principio. Explica un poco más. Ok, pero es que yo vi un video donde hay un muchacho bastante herido de esa camioneta, pero no sabía que pues este es el testigo y aquel es el posible policía, ¿verdad? Sí. Que iba con un niño. Ya, ok, creo que está perfecto. Sí, gracias. No sé, es que me quitó un poquito para escuchar.
Okay, we are apparently still streaming, so I'm going to tell you what I know for sure. That we just got a briefing from the San Antonio Police Public Information Officer. Her name is Lieutenant Michelle Ramos. So, yes, I can hear you. Sure. 2:30 out, Gene, we are going to do live television. In 2:30 out, we're going to do live television here.
Gotcha. TV. Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to get out of the way. I'm going to start with the car with the bullet holes.
Ya nos dijo la policía que pasó exactamente aquí afuera de esta Walmart que está ubicado en el 604 en Potranco, que pasó y dejó dos personas heridas. Aparentemente podría tratarse de una situación de ida al volante que había comenzado en este momento y que terminó en este lugar.
1 minute. 1 minute away.
Policía fuera de servicio se dejaba en el otro vehículo de Filipinas a una mujer y una niña de 4 años. Aparentemente aquí fue donde se desató la balacera que dejó a estas dos personas heridas. Es algo que se está investigando, los motivos, pero todo apunta.
Not confirmed, in my opinion.
Una situación así que se desarrolló después de un disturbio entre ellos. Aparentemente, dice el hombre que fue trasladado aquí esta licencia confirmaba varios impactos de bala, no se sabe cuántos impactos se hicieron en este
45 away. 30.
Nos confirman efectivamente que se trató de un policía fuera de servicio que se vio involucrado en este tiroteo y que fue llevado a las instalaciones de la policía de San Antonio a declarar para ser interrogado sobre cómo ocurrieron estos hechos, para que les explique por qué detonó su arma en contra de estas personas. A partir de
15.
Les continúo.
Intro. Deborah, we just got a briefing a couple of minutes ago from the Public Information Office, and I'm going to tell you what we know now. That minivan right there had 2 people in it, 2 men. Those are the 2 men who went to the hospital with bullet holes. I'm not sure that you can see. I'm not sure that you can see the bullet holes in the window, but that's where the 2 victims were. Police say that the shooter, the off-duty police officer, was actually in another car that is nearby here. It is a small gray sedan. Now they say that the off-duty police officer was in that car. He had a female passenger and a 4-year-old child in the car. They say they believe this started as some kind of confrontation here in the parking lot or nearby, that the cars were near each other when the shots were fired, and that the shooter stayed on the scene. He didn't go away. He stayed. He talked to police. Police have taken him to police headquarters for questioning. We don't know anything about the condition of the victims, but this is a developing thing, and we will stick with us. It's live on the west side of San Antonio at 1604 in Potranco. Sue Calberg, KENS 5. So if we're still streaming, I'm going to repeat the rest of what Michelle said in case you weren't with us here earlier. What we have here is shortly after 3 o'clock, some police were called for a shooting here at the Walmart at 1604 in Potranco. We had 2 victims that were shot. They were both Hispanic males in their 40s. The driver was shot several times. A front passenger was shot also. The shooter stayed. He talked to police. Witnesses, there is a witness here who said that she saw what happened, that she heard a gunshot. She saw the person with the gun holding the gun to the victims. They say that the officers took that person into custody. They say that in the car belonging to the shooter, that's a Honda Civic, they had a female passenger and a 4-year-old child. Those people were okay. They were not hurt. They did confirm that the shooter is an off-duty police officer. They did not confirm which agency he was with. They say that they believe that maybe road rage was a factor or some kind of disagreement between the two cars. But that's what we know at this moment. This is all preliminary information, and we'll bring it to you as we have more.
Aquí las tengo. Agarré 3. Exactamente.
Gracias,
Está bien para que lo pongan.
Sí, ¿verdad?
Estuviste aquí y
No se puede, a ver, voy a tomar uno. ¿Haces?
la cámara.
Sí se puede. Porque se ve más joven. Yo quisiera que mi papá se viera como que tuviera la actividad que tuvo. ¿Cuál es tu secreto de la juventud? No enojarte.
Ya, tranquilo.
No, mi papá ya lo veo caminando desde la camioneta hasta aquí con una cámara y por fuera lleva con las rodillas deshechas. 65. Pero a la chica que tiene tiene un tono más agradable, más suave.
Pero aquí es que va, aquí es que pieza,
Pero así la gané.
no para.
Bendita juventud. Pero de un año o dos después, te cobra la pasión. Yo hice porno como 7 años en Azteca y la reporté como casi 7, nomás de puro porno. Desde 2006 al 2000.
A las 5 de la mañana igual.
Y luego reporté un nuevo de banco. Si te acaba.
Yo estamos trabajando de 12 de la mañana a las 4. Una pregunta a la cadena. A mierda, pero por eso que se te friega.
Yo estuve 6 meses de noche y
luego viene el día.
no puede haber ni día. No puede mal. Nunca me gusta trabajar de noche. Pero bueno, tenemos sorprendes para saber que se Mande. Sería cortito, ¿verdad?
Okay, so the same thing is where it stops here.
¿Cuándo va eso ya? No, son a las 10.
No, es que puedo pasar, no, el video no, pero la cámara sí.
Apenas andamos marcos y yo así como que... Sí.
I'm not sure. He's driving the ship now. No, faltan que 10 años, ¿no?
Nosotros tampoco, ¿verdad? No estoy ¿Batallaste para llegar? Me imaginé. Es que está bien lejos de todo esto. Y había mucho tráfico.
Aquí estoy, ahorita te lo mando.
Y todo.
Todo,
Está feliz. Se tuvo. Es el chiste. Bye. También le falta el noticiero.
Con la camioneta.
Ay, bueno.
Quiero tomarle video, ¿no? Pero ahorita sí, yo te las voy a pasar subiendo, aquí no viene así como... Está fuera del tráfico, ahora le voy subiendo. Pero te hacen ver así como que no está...